new week, a new season, a new term for the children. I always forget how much beauty there is in the quiet things. Making breakfast, making packed lunchboxes, tidying up, the sound of the kettle, that first cup of tea. Sometimes I feel like I'm constantly trying to catch up. But lately, I've been reminding myself that this is life, the ordinary, the messy, and the beautiful bits in between. I've noticed that I've been craving simplicity lately, just using what I have and baking something small. In this case, it was thumbprint cookies that I saw on a program that I've been watching, and it reminded me of when I used to make them as a child. I think it was play school, and how simple they are, but how delicious they are. And so I've started making them for my kids' lunch boxes, a little treat. That doesn't cost a lot of money to make. It uses things that are already in the cupboard. But it's that slowing down enough to actually enjoy what I'm doing, not rushing through, not just trying to tick it off my list, not thinking about all the things I'd rather be doing or could be doing, just slowing down enough to actually enjoy the smell of it, the feel of it, and maybe having a little taste. It does feel really grounding somehow for me. It's like putting love back into the everyday. There's definitely a rhythm to all of this. The folding, the hanging out the laundry, the wiping, the stirring. It's the rhythm that holds me when my mind is just running away. It's taken me years to see that this is where creativity starts. Not in the doing necessarily, but in the being. Luna's teaching me a lot about that, actually. She doesn't overthink things, she just is. She runs, she sniffs, she rests, and she runs again, fully in the moment and absolutely no guilt about it whatsoever. I think that's how I want to live. That's where I want to live, in the curious, in the present, and definitely in the unhurried. I always love this part, the first layers of watercolour. It's so full of possibility. You don't really know where it's going to go, how it's going to end up. Sometimes it blooms, sometimes it runs, and sometimes it just does its own thing. I think that's what I love about painting with water. It's like life, isn't it, really? You can't really control it. You just have to guide it gently. Well, I haven't got much further, but then that's the beauty of watercolour, because you have to let it dry. So you have to naturally, well, I suppose you could get the hairdryer, but you have to naturally take a break, which I think suits me down to the ground, because I can get a little bit cross-eyed. So I was just thinking about kind of moods and creativity and how I've been feeling lately. I've been feeling quite overwhelmed and strung up and a bit anxious, this horrible feeling. And I think a lot of that, well, some of that is to do with being perimenopausal, definitely noticing fluctuations in my mood. It's hard to plot them or map them because my cycles are changing, they're getting longer. So I'm plotting it a little bit. I've got my moon journal, so I'm plotting that, but been feeling very overwhelmed. My son's just started senior school. There's that independence and that difference. I started doing packed lunches, which seems to be a full-time job in itself, but I'm starting to get into a bit of a rhythm with that. September's always a bit of a weird time for me. I think it's that end of the summer, getting back into a routine. So a couple of weeks ago, I was feeling that really heavily. Actually, not a couple of weeks ago, it's probably 10 days ago. And I found that I was really snappy, just irritated, just feeling a bit angry, a bit rageful inside, and almost wanted to be lost in my own thoughts, but didn't really like what my thoughts were. And you can't really do that in a house with 2 children and a husband, and you know, all the things that need to happen. It just wasn't having, I don't know what it was, thinking about my art business, thinking about where I want to be, always feeling like I'm a little bit behind, not where I want to be. I always write down these goals and then I haven't achieved them, or not quite, or they just don't work out in the way that you think they're going to. So I've been trying to think back over the last 10 days, because I feel completely different now. I feel quite at peace. I feel joyful and excited. I feel lighter. I don't feel that anger. And I'm just wondering what the differences are. Some of it's the weather. It's been a lot sunnier, and although I love the autumn and I love the rain and I don't like being too hot, I think there is something about it making you feel really good when the sun's out. Hormonally, I imagine I'm somewhere else in my cycle, don't quite know where. But I think one of the main things, because nothing's really changed in terms of, you know, the lunch boxes, the time of year, I don't know, everything else that's going on, nothing's really changed. But my feelings have changed. And I think an important thing is that I'm really enjoying my creativity again. And I'm trying to think about why that is. And I think the main reason is that I'm just going with when I feel a spark, when I feel excitement, I'm going with it. I'm not overthinking it. I'm just doing it. It's not work, you know, it's not that I'm doing better work. It's just that I'm enjoying it more. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is that I always used to, I've got into this conditioning over the years of I have to get everything to a certain point before I can then enjoy myself, do my art, which is actually my work, but it also feels like a hobby. So it's a little bit of a grey area, but I've always thought I need to do my admin first, I need to get this done, the house looking tidy, everything prepared, and I end up rushing through it all because I want to get to the point where I can sit down and do some art. And so I was feeling more and more flustered and more anxious and just speeding up. And I think part of me's just realised I can't do it all. It's not good for me, although it didn't feel good. Sometimes we just don't realise. So now I'm sitting down and creating first. So I'm allowing myself to fit in all of the other stuff in the gaps after the creativity. I'm doing things little bits at a time. You know, I've got some washing done. I've made some thumbprint cookies today. I made some flapjacks while I was cooking last night for the lunches. And I'm fitting it in whilst I'm doing other things. But my painting is, because I don't know about you, but the housework, the admin, all of that, there's never an end point. You can tick things off a list and get a certain amount done, but then, I don't know about you, but you constantly think of new things to add to the list. And then needs to be done again tomorrow or the next week, and uploading to social media, and that needs to be a daily thing in my mind. So why am I rushing to get it all done? Why am I hustling with that side of things? Why don't I just do those bits in the in-betweens? They're not as important as, this is my work, but it's also my fuel. It's my balm for joy. It's my safe place and my sanctuary. It's my harmony. It's my balance. It's my grounding. It's everything. So surely that needs to come first. Obviously, and see, this is the thing. It's like, obviously I need to get other things done, but they do get done. They're just not a rushed priority that I feel like I'm punishing myself. And also feeling hard done by, that I have to do it and all I want to do is sit down. So what I've been finding is that I just feel this sense of contentment because I'm getting that creativity in and I'm still getting everything else done. But I've switched the priorities. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know. I just wanted to share that, really to document it for myself, because I think I need to keep remembering it. We work these things out. I often have epiphanies. I constantly say to Adam, I've just had an epiphany, and he kind of goes, oh no, what is it now? In a jokey way. I have a lot of epiphanies, but it's remembering them. So writing them down, documenting them on YouTube, and then coming back to that when I'm feeling overwhelmed and like I'm racing around at 100 miles an hour, I can come back and go, oh, that's what I need to do. That's what works. So I wonder if you can relate to that. I wonder if you feel the same, whatever your life situation is. Because I think it's not necessarily our physical things. Sometimes we do it to ourselves. And somebody that can be in a completely different life stage or life situation to me can be feeling all of the same things. So yeah, let me know. I'd love to know. Today I sorted the kids' lunch, sorted Luna, she's been out for a lovely walk, played with a little friend Twizzle, about 50 minutes running around, got very muddy, had a lot of fun, put some washing out. I don't know if it's going to dry today, it's a bit cloudy, which is why I'm in here. Sorted some other washing. Oh, Luna's awake. That's early. I think I'm going to let her settle for a little bit longer. Feeling a bit tired today. Have to get up early with Luna to take her out for a wee. And also it gives me a little bit more time to get everything ready, pack lunches myself. But I keep waking up almost an hour earlier than I need to, so I'm kind of waking up at 5 at the moment, which is annoying. Having some quite vivid dreams, so I think I might start writing those down and see if they make any sense. But I think I'm going to do, hopefully Luna will settle for a bit, I'm going to do a little bit on my hooded lady and my fox. I took a photo of her yesterday, which is always a really good thing to do. Took a photo and I've noticed that this eye is a lot bigger than that one. We're not symmetrical, but it stands out quite a lot more than it should. Sometimes you can't really see for looking when it's your own work, but when you take a photo, it's glaringly obvious. So I'm going to try and sort that out, and I might do a little bit of detail on the fox, just so I've got, I don't know, sometimes I feel like when it starts coming to life, when there starts to become a little bit of a soul to the painting or drawing, it gives me more motivation to keep going. I've been thinking a lot about sketchbooking as well, and I really feel like I need to get back into that. I found a couple of old ones. Thinking about different watercolour papers. I'd like to get a proper watercolour sketchbook, or at least one that takes wet media. But this is I always thought they were called moleskin, but I think they're called moleskine. There's an E on the end, which is a bit weird. Doesn't say when I got it. I've had it a long time. What date's that? 2020. So just flicking through and having a look at some of the drawings I've done in here. Drawing my children, my husband, varying degrees of, it's a bit random, family members. Just trying to get some proportions in. I think that was from a book. I was kind of in some different studies, thinking about proportions, thinking about where the eyes are, random cow in relation. Oh, using it to kind of map out composition. Oh, that's not good. Right, there's some paper. I might as well show you. A bit strange, not great. What's going on there? Not every drawing in your sketchbook is going to be a masterpiece, or you're even going to like it. Sometimes you just have an off day, but I still feel like the process of creativity and getting something out on paper, because let's be honest, creativity is about creating something that wasn't there before. So that could be anything. It could be cooking, it could be gardening, it could be crochet or knitting, anything. I think sometimes it's just good to get it out. I've been quite slow. I've been tidying my desk, procrastinating. I lost myself doom scrolling a little bit, which I always feel annoyed about. So there's that sketchbook. I'm going to be using that one. I've also found a few watercolour papers that seem quite nice. They're not cheap, but this is £140. So that's not that thick, but it is hot pressed, which I like. What make is it? Delorani. So there's that one. I love my Fabriano. I use that a lot, but that's not cheap. I found this sketchbook as well. Now this is very thin paper. This is from Hobbycraft. So I've done quite a lot of watercolour in here, but it's super warped. The hair, you actually see, I don't think I zoomed in enough. Random animals. Just having a play really. Yeah, that was my first attempt at the lion, and then I pared it down and made it a lot simpler, which I absolutely enjoy. Sometimes I've got to get the heavy-handedness out of my system. Cute little hedgehog. Puppy. Oh, some birds. Oh, that's quite cute. Lion cub. But I feel like his eyes are too close together maybe. Don't know, what do you think? Watercolour dog. I was just experimenting with this style really. That's my cat Delilah. More of a loose watercolour. Started a lemur. Playing with, I don't know what that is. Just playing with washes and see what happens. So it's decent, but it does warp a little bit. But I do like the hard cover. So there's that one. I've got this cartridge paper. This is 220 actually, so it's quite good. Quite good quality. Again, practicing faces. So there's trial number 1 and number 2. So improving slightly. Really bad. Don't know what happened there. That was getting on my nerves. So I did a random one, and then I tried again, I think. Tried again, still wasn't working. And then eventually I kind of, still not great, but better. Is there anything else in there? No. So that's quite a good one. ideal for painting, sketching and technical drawing. So it's not for watercolour, although it's quite heavy duty. And then I've got my De La Rowney Aquafine, no, is that De La Rowney? Yeah, De La Rowney Aquafine, hot pressed again, 140. Oh, blimey, clumsy. And then I found this book. I've actually got, it's a really funny story, I've got 2 of these. Didn't realise, so I bought this from I want to say like an Oxfam bookshop. Yeah, secondhand gift aid. And I didn't realise I already had it until I came across this certain drawing that I've drawn before. This one. So I think I've got it in my Moleskine one. Let's see. I think I have. Yeah, there he is. So I've drawn that boy. Oh, it's really interesting to see, but I'm definitely not quite there. Yeah, his eyes are too close together, they're too big, the proportions are wrong. There's a random pig. I do like pigs. So I think what I'm going to do with this book is I'm going to actually read it from start to finish. Normally I flick through a book like this and just have a go at the drawings. Nothing wrong with that at all. But I think I might actually read about what they're trying to say, and hopefully that will help. Beautiful drawings, just stunning. And then I found this watercolour book that I've got. So I might have a actual read of what they're saying. So I'm not feeling very inspired today, so I might just aim for 10 minutes and then see what happens. I know Luna's awake now, which always makes me feel on edge. Will she go back to sleep? Will she not? I don't think she will. Did you hear that? So what I might do is just get her up, get her some food. She might be hungry, she might need the loo, and then just put her down a little bit earlier later on. So yeah, I think I might do that. Yeah, I do feel quite tired today. It's Friday, end of the week. It's been quite a busy one. Yeah. So I was just editing the video and realised that I didn't actually really end it. So I thought what I'd do to end the video, to end this vlog, is to just show you, kind of a few days later, show you the finished look of the painting that I was working on. So I've been doing quite a few. There you go, there she is. I don't know if you can see the whole thing. Kind of called her Veiled Lady with Fox. It's not really got a name at the moment. But the spirit animal was coming up a lot. I'm a little bit more pleased with her face. I feel like it's a bit more illustrative than I wanted it, and that's probably because I've outlined it. But it just felt like it needed it for some reason. I was just going with what I thought, and I've done a lot of symbolism in the background, symbols that really spring to mind, and then I like looking at what they mean. We've got the spiral, we've got a couple of runes, we've got the crescent moon. I've hidden them amongst the watercolour drips and things, so hopefully it's just interesting. I've got to say I didn't enjoy this one as much as I did, you've probably seen this one, I know I've got a short on that one, so My Witch and Wolf. I didn't enjoy this one as much, it just didn't come together as well. This one just felt, I don't know, it just felt like I was in flow or something with this one. Similar themes, so they obviously go together, but we'll see. And then that's the one that kind of started it all off, my little witch's cottage in the woods, which is like just trying to paint my vision, what that would be. And then this fairy, don't like the wings on this one, they're in the wrong place, but I kind of didn't think about the composition. Too many trees in the background, too much detail, too busy, but it led me onto those. It led me onto this one, which I'm a lot more happy with. So the flow was there then, I got really excited, and then, oh, and this one as well. No, that one was first, my little fairy in the woods. So the fox keeps reappearing with some toadstools. I wanted the light coming in. Can you see the kind of, got symbols on that one as well, so obviously this seems to be a bit of a theme for me, a bit of a style, I suppose, and some butterflies. So all of these were watercolour with coloured pencil on top, which I quite like. Coloured pencil definitely is my kind of comfort zone. Watercolours not so much, because they have a life of their own. But what I was kind of thinking is that I had the flow with the witch one, I had the flow with the fairy. I did enjoy that, although I don't like the wings at the end. And then when I got to the one that I was showing in the last video, it was a bit more of a struggle. So what I found is it's best not to fight that, really, not to question it too much, not to judge myself on it, and just think that we're cyclical beings. Inspiration ebbs and flows. It might be a certain time in the month, it might be the moon cycle. Where are we? The dark moon and the new moon. It's a full moon tomorrow, so that's a different energy. Things kind of ebb and flow, and I'm starting to just work with that instead of fighting it, because I feel like life is geared up to just go, go, go all of the time, that kind of hustle culture and that very kind of masculine energy, whereas I feel like there needs to be a balance, and I'm embracing my feminine a little bit more, knowing that we are emotional, we are hormonal, we kind of ebb and flow, our energy levels are up and down. I like to plot my energy levels in my moon journal, and I've showed that before, it's not with me now. I like to plot that because I find it really interesting, and then I can find a pattern, especially with the lunar cycles. So yeah, I just wanted to end the video with a little bit of encouragement to be gentle with yourself. Try not to push when your energy's low. Maybe just do something for 10 minutes, or just do a quick doodle or quick sketch, or even just journal things out. Just write something down. Sometimes I just breathe into my heart, sit quietly, and then trust what comes through. It's amazing when you're writing, you're not even thinking, and then when you read it back, you feel quite enlightened. So yeah, I just want to give you the encouragement to do that, and to be kind to yourself when your energy is low. And then when you have more energy, then just get excited and use that inspiration time too. But know that it peaks and flows, and it will come back if you're in a bit of a low. So yeah, I'd love to hear how you plan your week, plan your month. Do you kind of go with how you feel, or do you try and push through? No judgment either way. It'd just be really interesting to see how everyone else does it. And yeah, just be kind to yourself. Lots of love, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.